Hello, thanks for joining us again on the channel. I've been wanting to talk about this for ages, and now that a friend finally got one, we can dive into his experience. Quick note before we begin, there's a discount link in the description and the top comment if you want to check it out. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Now, let's hear directly from our first reviewer about their experience.
This reviewer came to this monitor with high expectations, and while the overall experience has been largely acceptable, it wasn't without its initial frustrations. Soon after setting it up, this client encountered a persistent visual glitch where the screen would become distorted. After some troubleshooting that involved trying both available HDMI ports, the issue was finally traced back to a faulty cable. Simply purchasing and installing a new HDMI cable seemed to correct the problem entirely. The interaction with the company's support team was a mixed bag. On one hand, their suggestion to replace the cable was indeed the correct solution. However, our reviewer was a bit disappointed when the support agent also suggested that they should just accept the possibility of one of the HDMI ports being faulty. Furthermore, the user was surprised by an unusual piece of advice to hold the power button down for several seconds to clear some kind of internal cache, which seemed like an odd quirk for a modern device. From a design standpoint, the concept of a clean, minimalist back panel is nice in theory, but it proves challenging in practice. Given the monitor's solid heft and the awkward angle required, our reviewer found connecting various cables to be a difficult task. In terms of performance, the display is great for day-to-day computer work. It also truly shines for gaming, providing a very smooth and high-quality experience. The user did note that they made a brief but unsuccessful attempt to activate the built-in speakers and has not yet had an opportunity to test the onboard USB ports. Their final recommendation is to have a new, reliable HDMI cable ready from the start, and to be prepared for a bit of a struggle when plugging everything in.
Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer notes that after trying several other brands, this particular 4K HDMI 2.1 monitor is by far their favorite. The initial experience was very positive, starting with the secure packaging and the impressive build quality of the unit itself. Right from the first moment it was turned on, the display made a strong impression with its incredible clarity and vibrant colors, looking fantastic straight out of the box without needing any immediate adjustments. Our client tested it across multiple platforms, including a PC and the latest generation of consoles, and found the image to be consistently crisp and beautiful on all of them. A standout feature for this user was the reliable auto switch function, which seamlessly detects and switches between active inputs. This was a point of frustration with previous models from other manufacturers, which often failed to switch automatically, but this display handles it perfectly every time. Fortunately, the specific panel this client received had no noticeable backlight blade, though they wisely point out that this can vary from one unit to the next, so it's always something to check for. The monitor fully supports the bandwidth of its HDMI 2.1 ports, and the variable refresh rate works wonderfully alongside its well-implemented variable overdrive settings. The thoughtful additions really elevate the experience. Our reviewer absolutely loves the inclusion of a remote control, which makes navigating menus and adjusting settings a breeze compared to fiddling with tiny buttons on the frame. Furthermore, the built-in speakers are described as the best they have ever heard from any monitor, offering a surprisingly robust audio experience. The only minor complaint they could find was the lack of an official G-Sync compatible certification. However, even when using an NVIDIA GPU, they encountered no issues with screen tearing or stuttering, making it a non-issue in practice. Ultimately, TH.
Wonderful. Now, let's explore the feedback from our next reviewer.
This reviewer absolutely loves this display, especially for gaming on both PC and consoles. It handles 4K gaming at high refresh rates without breaking a sweat, whether you're rocking a PC running at 144Hz or a console targeting 120Hz. One of the best things about this monitor is its modern connectivity, meaning you can achieve those high resolutions and refresh rates with a single cable, which simplifies the setup and keeps your desk cleaner. Aesthetically, this display is very pleasing to the eye. The clean design coupled with the ambient backlighting really elevates the overall feel of your gaming area, giving it a premium touch. The picture quality is fantastic, with vibrant colors and excellent brightness. Ghosting isn't an issue either, especially when using the recommended overdrive setting. While it's not an IPS panel, meaning you might notice a slight bit of light blade and the viewing angles could be better, the trade-offs are well worth it. The monitor flawlessly supports 4K gaming at 144 Hz with G-Sync and HDR simultaneously, and the HDR implementation is truly impressive, adding a lot of depth and realism to the visuals. A reviewer mentioned that when HDR is enabled, the brightness automatically jumps to maximum. While this might seem unusual, the client found that it actually looked great, even in a dark room at night, and wasn't overly bright. All in all, this client highly recommends this monitor for anyone looking for a high-resolution, high-refresh rate display with all the bells and whistles for both PC and console gaming.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you next time.